government to frame the solid waste rules 2016, which will be implemented throughout India. And I am sure BMC will give a top priority to implementation of solid waste rules 2016 because of what happened in Deonar and what is happening in dumping grounds. Now, as you know, you must have read in the papers that from time to time BMC has been saying that we want to segregate the waste. What is meant by segregation? Dividing waste into wet waste and dry waste. Wet waste means something which decomposes. So that you know, everybody, that what decompose, by experience we know that. And something which doesn't decompose becomes a dry waste. Now there are two different streams for disposal of this. Wet waste can be disposed of in a particular manner and dry waste can be disposed of in a particular manner. Not that mixed waste cannot be processed. Mixed waste can be processed, but because of solid waste rules 2016, Municipal Corporation has taken a policy decision that segregation will get the top priority. And in order to learn what is this segregation, we cannot have better speaker than Jyoti Mahapsekar of Stree Mukti Sangatna. I request Jyoti to come to the stage. She has done pioneering work for economically weaker section, what we call them rag pickers or waste pickers. She has given them a status in the entire waste disposal system, which is really, I do not find any parallel in that. And she has formed different organizations, their self-help groups, and empowered them not only in enhancing their income, but also empowered them in the confidence that they are part of the society and they are playing a useful part for the society. I think for that she needs a very big applause, and what she has achieved is unparalleled. I request Ashok Data to present her with bouquet. So I know that Ashok and Jyoti know each other very well, but I request him to do that on behalf of our waste activist group and also on behalf of Moneylife Foundation. A very brief introduction about what Jyoti is going to talk about. She is going to talk about this new weapon in the citizens' hand, that the waste has to be segregated because of solid waste rules 2016. How to do that, she is going to say that. And more important than that, whatever waste you segregate, how to convert it into compost or biogas, I think that will be basis of our talk. We will have another speaker afterwards, which will be from BMC, who will explain about how to deal with our dry waste, which is not decomposable. Here, Jyoti.
Thank you, Moneylife, for giving me this opportunity to speak here. As Mr. Ashok Rawat has said, that I started working in the waste sector because of waste pickers. My organization Stree Mukti Sangatna is 40 years old, working for women's cause. But 16 years ago, we found that there is a section of women in this society who really have hand-to-mouth existence, and they are all Dalit. They are from Marathwada. They have come to Mumbai as migrants in 1972 drought, and most of them are illiterate, either deserted by husbands or widows. So we thought that we must, as Stree Mukti Sangatna, we must help them. But at that time we did not have any knowledge about waste. In fact, all the trustees of Stree Mukti Sangatna are working women, so we were all having sweepers in the house, or waste is taken by municipal corporation. It's like every citizen, we also had this notion of out of sight, out of mind, and not in my backyard. So both these attitudes we also had, and when we started looking at their problems, we realized that only by having their self-help groups or giving them help in literacy, this problem will not be solved. We'll have to learn about the waste. And when we start, though I stay in Chembur for last many years, but I also had not seen dumping ground. So when we started doing survey of their problems and we started meeting them, and we realized how scattered they are in many communities because they are poorest of the poor in this city. And of course we'll have to find out what is waste, what waste they sell. And then we also thought that their problems were related with dry waste, and how do you give them the access to dry waste, because what they are doing is they are just picking up waste from the roadside. That means we are throwing waste very indiscriminately, and they have to work in unhygienic conditions because of that. So how to solve this? That means we will have to work on many levels. One is citizen level, because when we started that and we went to many housing cooperative societies, first question the middle class asked us that we will give them our dry waste, what they will give us back. So we were really shocked hearing that, because this is your waste which you are throwing. But then we realized that if you see the pyramid of waste is at the bottom. There are waste pickers, then there are shopkeepers, then there are traders who are collecting only plastic, and then there are also some sorters who are really separating the types of waste also. Like if suppose you take paper, then white paper will be with the one wholesaler, the brown paper will be with someone, newspaper will be with someone. So there are so many kinds of types of waste which will be given to which will be sent to other different vendors. And of course at the top is the recycler. I don't know how many of you know that the most of the recyclers are in Gujarat, not in Maharashtra. Where in Gujarat, in Vapi and all, they are really hubs of recycling. Here we see that there is waste recycling in Dharavi. Many people talk about it, but if you see what happens in Gujarat, then you will really realize how much big sector this is. So then we also thought that how do we give access to waste pickers unless and until we separate dry waste from wet waste. I mean, unless until we do something about wet waste, the dry waste cannot be separated. But then also we realize that if we ask people to segregate the waste pickers will be again at the bottom of this pyramid, because all the housewives will start selling their own waste. If they are not interested in, then their maid servants in the house will sell that waste. Then of course even their sweepers will take out the dry waste. Their watchmen also sell the waste. And at the end, if this goes directly, then municipal corporation people, the Safai Karmacharis and all, they also take that waste. So again, rag picker will be at the bottom only, or maybe she will disappear, because there won't be any waste. If the waste is not thrown on the road, she won't have any access. So then we started training them in composting. We thought that if we'll give her value addition, then that might be easier for her, so that we can tell societies that you give her dry waste, she will do your composting. But you will have to pay for some services, because Bombay the distances are so. So then we started giving them training in composting. We started with Marathi Vignan Parishad. They were having some hobby classes, and the person who was taking hobby classes told me that people here come only as hobby, and 40 people join in the first day, and at the end of the course hardly 5 people remain, and out of them also 3 only practice at home. So it was terrace gardening or something. There lots of things they were teaching there. But I thought that if the waste pickers are taught this, they will, because it is connected with their livelihood, they will definitely take this training, and that's what happened. And fortunately at that time Mr. Gaikwad and later on Mr. Jain were there at the helm of affairs for the solid waste management. So they were encouraging ALMs, advanced locality management groups, and that's the reason when this advanced locality management group started, lots of groups were there and they gave job to these women. And we were very happy, but suddenly after they left, because it was not a policy, so, and the policy was changed, I will say. They had that policy that ALM should be encouraged, but moment they left, that was stopped, and therefore the groups were discouraged, and therefore again we had to, they did not get jobs. So again we gave training to 1000 women, but hardly 100, 200 got jobs, and whatever jobs they got, they also lost them because ALM stopped working. Then we, of course, in 2003 we also worked with Dr. Kali for biogas plants. Many of you might be knowing gobar gas plants, but biogas plant is for solid waste management, of municipal solid waste management, was of course Dr. Kali's innovative way of processing the waste. There you can process all the waste, of course, except the big bones, then egg shells and coconut shells. These three things are not processed in that plant. Otherwise, all the other waste can be, especially hotel waste and market waste, which is in the at public places, which can be easily processed there. There are lots of difficulties in doing that. Difficulty is not as a technology, because it's very simple technology, and we taught our women that technology, and they really excelled in that. You will be surprised that in Tata Institute of Social Sciences we have a plant which is of 500 kilo of waste. All the canteen waste goes into that plant, and one of our former waste picker processes that, and they have around 30,000 rupees income for that waste, that gas, and 10,000 they give for maintenance, and every month they get 20,000 rupees for processing their waste, and this much waste, and all dry waste also. So almost every day 1 ton of waste doesn't go to dumping ground. So this means decentralized waste management. We call it zero waste campus. And this zero waste campus is important because actually we have to divert all the waste going from dumping ground. People are asking me also, what you are doing for Deonar and all. Actually citizens and of course municipality, what we are doing for Deonar. Because we are just talking, then we are talking about smoke, and we are discussing about smoke, and then we just keep quiet after that, and then we give all the responsibility to municipality again. So what is citizens' responsibility, that is also important. Now what I have brought with me, we are also always learning. Last 16 years we have learned many things. So this is a new learning, I will say. That DARC has developed a culture in laboratory. Because earlier, from 2001, we are selling baskets. It's not first time we have come up with the basket. We used to call it magic box, and then we used to put a lot of coconut shells, these, that, so many things as a layer, and then you have to start putting your waste into that. Wet waste, because many people don't even understand what is wet waste and what is dry waste. And I know some people understand, but they don't want to do it. Because I had this problem in the Bhava Atomic Research Center colony also, that people are scientists, they know what is dry and what is wet, but they don't want to do it. Because it is also connected with the caste factor, someone else is doing dirty work somewhere, so why should I bother? I will fix it. So if you can't sort your 1 kilo waste, half kilo wet waste, and whatever remains is dry waste, and that dry waste depends on your affluence, because as your income increases, your garbage increases, and as your income increases more and more, you buy more packages in the house, so your dry waste increases. So if you can't even separate your 1 kilo at home, then how municipality is going to segregate 10,000 tons of waste at dumping ground? It's impossible. So what actually our aim, when we started the work, we did not want waste pickers to continue this job. We really feel that Mumbai should be clean and should be green, because there will be a lot of compost. So what you will do with the compost? So you have to make Mumbai green. And the next thing is, waste pickers should be converted into collectors and the people who are doing processing. They should not remain waste pickers at all, and that is our duty also, that we don't throw waste. we give them separate. And by doing this, if you will realize that what waste speaker, I mean, people feel that what is the contribution of waste speakers? Why waste speakers is a nuisance. Many people feel they are just sitting on the footpaths and not giving place to people to walk. Yes, people require space to walk, and the roads of course should be protected, but municipality should give them proper driveway centers so that they can go there, and I think Mr. Younger will talk about it. But this proper space will be given. They won't sit on the footpath. Nobody is happy to sit on the footpath and do it. There should be proper space, for enough space for people. That is the requirement. But second thing is that if you really think about waste again, this waste which can go to biogas plants can be composted in your society also. In society, if you have cement concrete pits, which can be 5 by 3 by 2, this size, 3 pits are enough for 100 families. We have a CD on our website, and if possible I have a presentation of course, but I have not shown it. I can show you those pits also. So you can of course compost your society's waste in your compound only. Of course people don't give space now because they require that space for parking. So people are not ready to give space to for compost pit. That is the problem. But it can be, people can do it at society level. But I have attended many hundreds of meetings in cooperative societies where people fight with each other where the compost pit space should be there. Usually they say that it should be near the secretary's house, because they are always worried about smell, flies and everything. You can ask Ashok Datar, because we are having these compost pits in his compound, his Makran Sahniwas compound, almost 11 years ago, and still going on fantastically.
So next to their secretaries.
I don't know. They don't have that kind of, and they have some space at the gate, so they have kept it there. But for 11 years, these pits are working. At many places, when we started, they have continued that, but not everywhere, I will say. So I feel that when societies meetings are there, usually the fighting goes on, and half of the people want to compost. Our basket has come after that only. We have a basket which was actually just like any other basket. Yeah, now we have developed it.
Should I put it up here so that
I can show it like this. Dr. Kale has developed a culture, and now we are using that culture into this basket. I remember that when we had first basket, Ashok had taken it to his house. But the rule for this basket is that you have to actually cut into small pieces. And then it should not be put in a AC room. It should be in the open, because waste, if you keep in the open, and then there won't be it's a aerobic composting, and of course there won't be any smell or anything. You put in the balcony or something. Dr. Kale in his house has kept it in his drawing room. So this is culture, this is the culture he has prepared, and this is really fantastic. Even I have not seen in last so many years, and this culture really, you can see the garbage, it's disintegrating and being composed. So I feel this is very cheap, because it's hardly 450 rupees for each household. But you can also have, suppose you have 2 households. If you don't have any rat problem, then you can put it in the at the staircase also. 2 families can use one. We can give you bigger basket. Now, of course, the Kale has also prepared a prototype of steel baskets, stainless steel baskets. But they are expensive, of course, 1500 rupees. And a bigger for cooperative society, which cost around 40,000 rupees or something. Because some buildings don't want this kind of plastic, they want something very high profile, so there are those kind of baskets are also available. And here you have to just add your waste there, if possible chopped into pieces, and then we have given one fork like this, and you have to, whenever you put into that, you have to just mix it. That's all. You don't have to do anything. Only thing is, there are lots of precautions you have to take. One is that you should not put any weight, like dal or buttermilk or something like that there. Whatever you put it into filter, and whenever it becomes little dry, you have to put it. Don't put water inside it. Otherwise, there will be a problem. And if you feel it is very dry, then you can just sprinkle some water. But it doesn't require water actually. And this is called magic box because it is never full. It is immediately composted, the wet waste, and when it is composted, actually it reduces, the amount reduces, because waste, you hardly get 10 or 15% from total amount of waste. So whenever it is, if you feel it is full or 3/4, you can take whatever is there on the top layer and then you can remove it and use it as a compost, and then afterwards you can continue doing this. Only don't touch the bottom layer, that's all. Otherwise you can always start using and you can use this basket continuously. There are some instructions here that you have to put it in sufficiently ventilated space, slight height from the ground, and maximum half kilo waste you can put every day. If you have guest or you have, suppose mango season and you have got so many mango this thing, then it will be a problem. Then you might buy another basket and put into that. Secondly, you have to crush into small pieces and spread the same. Then of course from first month you should not add cooked vegetables. You have to add first raw vegetables, fruit and flowers, and then after 1 month, when you will be also get little confidence, then you can start putting cooked food into that. So but that is after 1 month. In the beginning you can just put raw food. Watery food waste, of course, you have to avoid, and you have to stir well. That is also the secret of the success, that if you really stir it well, then it will be mixed with the compost, and then the proper compost can be made easily. Actually, who does it? So Stri Mukti Sangatna doesn't do it. What we have done is, we have founded one federation of waste speaker groups, which is known as Parisar Bhagini Vikas Sangha, which is the federation of self-help groups. There are around 150 groups into that. Each group has around 10 women, and we also have cooperatives of these women who can directly take contract. Suppose you want contract for your own society, we can give it to one of the societies, one of the cooperative society. They will have the contract with you. And this is also this, if you see the basket over here, this is of Savitribai Phule cooperative, and whatever profit we get, it's not profit, whatever expenses we make and whatever little we get goes to that cooperative society. And of course the women who prepare it, there's a net inside, so stick that net, so all of them get some remuneration for the work being done by them, and it belongs to cooperative society. It doesn't belong to Stri Mukti Sangatna. So we feel that if you take these baskets or compost pits or something, it is your indirect help to the waste speaker families, where we are also taking care of their education of their children. We are taking health camps for them. So all this, whatever we get, can be used for that. So waste speakers, as I said, they don't want their children to become waste speakers. So for that, the children should go to school. They should get proper education. So one side we are doing all that. I mean, when we started work, almost all the girls were getting married at the age of 12 or 13. But now all the girls are really continuing their school education, and many of them are going to colleges, doing a lot of other courses. So one way, it is whatever work we are doing for girl child are also giving dividends to us. So tomorrow the situation may come that you will not have waste speakers, or maybe from outside. Yeah, it should be like that. I mean, we are working for 16 years. Still, I won't say that we have could stop. But citizens, it is in citizens' hand to stop waste picking from the roadside. Actually, citizens, if they segregate at home, give dry waste to waste pickers. Many times I hear from waste picker, the citizens, one complaint that we segregate, but municipal workers come and mix everything. But then you don't give it to municipal workers. That's what we are saying. You give it to waste pickers only. You know everybody who is walking in your lane. It might be a vegetable vendor who comes to your building. You know everybody, but you don't know waste picker who is in your lane. There must be some waste picker. You find out this much help you can give to the waste picker. Give them your waste. Actually, I wanted to correct Mr. Rawat that the new rules have come, and in these new rules. He said that because new rules have come, we are segregating. No. Actually, it is compulsory now. No, it is compulsory now to segregate your waste. Now, I do not know. I mean, implementation is most difficult thing in our country. So, municipality has to do something about it. Make it compulsory. May fining the people might help them, but it is not only in two categories. Now you have to segregate your waste in three categories. The third category now is the hazardous waste, which also has sanitary napkins and diapers, and of course the bulbs, tube lights, and all that, which is hazardous. The new attitude of new generation, I will say, is that they don't wash diapers, they don't wash sanitary napkins, and they just put them like that. And imagine you put it into a plastic bag, and then some waste picker is picking up that plastic bag, and then she throws it out again. So there are thousands of such bags lying at the dumping ground of sanitary napkins and of diapers. So one side we say that we don't want manual scavenging, but other side we are putting all that waste in diapers and giving that to the waste. I mean, it's not only waste speakers, but all waste collectors, maybe municipal safai kamgars. So we don't think about what they will feel when they open it and they will see that there are diapers along with all dirty diapers inside it, or dirty sanitary napkins. So if you want to treat them as a human being, we should discipline ourselves. And if we really discipline our mind actually and develop good habits, it's not difficult at all. We used to do so many things earlier, and now we are, it becomes very easy thing for us, to use all these things and throw. So instead of using this use and throw attitude, if we really have little discipline in our lives, and we will think about the people who are working in the waste, that we don't think at all. It's also, again I will repeat that it's a caste factor also. So if we really discipline ourselves and give all our dry waste in a proper condition to the people who are collecting waste, whether they are municipal workers or your own sweepers or waste pickers, then that will, in a proper form, it will go to the recycling factories, because the contribution of waste pickers is not only that they are collecting your waste. If you see, if they are even collecting 15-20% of the waste, I don't say that suppose we are having around 4,000 tons of waste, dry waste, and all the waste cannot be collected by waste pickers, because most of it goes to dumping ground only, because it is a mixed waste. Mixed waste should not go to dumping ground. The rule is there from 2000, but still municipality never bothered about it. So the waste is still going to dumping ground. Now they are more strict. We do not know how strict they are, because earlier also we thought, when I started working, I thought in year 2000 now everything will change, but nothing changed in 16 years. So now the new years are come in 2016. And now they are also saying again that the segregation at source is compulsory. But who will bail the cat? Corporators are also scared, to tell people. So what is the easy solution which municipality also might take is incineration. That you burn everything, so you don't have to segregate at all. But incineration also generate dioxins. And dioxins are carcinogenous. So you think about it, what do you want? So I always say that biogas is also waste to energy, but without burning the waste. But because it is connected only with the wet waste, but municipality should give that segregated waste to the biogas plants, which municipality doesn't bother. Because whenever we ask them, they feel, oh, we have 10,000 tons problem. What is this? You are talking about 500 kilo and 5 tons and all that. We have 10,000 tons problem. So actually 10,000 tons problem will be solved only by doing bit by bit, taking ward by ward, or maybe small community first. And there are many communities in Mumbai. You might have in last few months, Vijayanagar society, the news of Vijayanagar society has come often in the papers. It has got 500 flats. It's a big colony. In all these 500 flats, everybody segregates. And women don't have to put their hands into waste because it is segregated waste. They have to just put it into compost pits and then stir them. That's all. And it's working for last 1 year. Now we can say it's a success story. Of course, I will say the success story started with Makaran Sahnivas in Ashok Datta's compound, which is for 11 years. But Vijayanagar is a big society with 500 flats. Ashok's society also must be 100 flats. 100 flats are there. So it's not it's not something new we are doing. It's not a rocket science at all. It's very, very, very simple. The problem of waste is decentralized only. It's not problem. The waste we generate in a decentralized way. We mix it and make a problem, and then we again put it in a centralized way. Then we say, oh, it's very huge problem, so we have to have incinerators now. So instead of that, incinerators is a very expensive technology, and composting biogas is not that expensive. So I think as a citizens we should also pay what and sending waste to Taloja is really a big problem, because who will pay for the transport? It is not from where municipality will pay? It will pay from our pockets only, whether it will go to Taloja or Sahyadri. Yeah. No, I almost finished.
I know that. That's why I was saying.
So I think we should think about our own money, whether we should burn all the waste, because burning all the waste into the incinerator, it also means we are burning natural resources. All the resources which we have, whatever, whether it is plastic or anything, instead of recycling, we are burning it and generating dioxins. Instead of that, if we segregate, it's very simple. And you can do it at home, as I have shown. You can do it in your society. Your ward, you can always tell your corporators to have biogas plants. And you have to pressurize your corporators. Actually, in Gram Sabha and all, people meet together and they can talk to their own Gram Panchayat people. But here in Mumbai or in any metro city, we know that we just don't have any pressure groups or anything. And there is no place where we can gather together and give our opinion. But now election is coming, so we should take advantage of that and tell corporators, ask them in their manifesto whether they have written anything about waste, whether they are going to write about it, how they are going to solve the waste problem. Because last election, when there were debates on the television, everybody was saying that the major problem in the cities is waste. But of course 5-6 years are gone now, nobody bothers about waste now, because there was this smoke at Deonar dumping ground. But remember, smoke at Deonar dumping ground has come to your house, has gone to Mulberry Hill also and gone to Navi Mumbai. It has not gone to the slums below, because people feel that it's there in the dirty slums. Incinerator is also there only, so nobody is bothered about it, because there are all poor people are staying in Govandi, Mankhurd and all that area. They can't protest. They don't know what is the impact of this waste in their own locality. So people should think about it. Smoke is going to come to your house also if it is going to get burned. So think about it. Now only that's why people are now very much awake and always talking about the waste. And so many people, I was really surprised that so many people have come to listen to me. I'm talking this for last 16 years. I had to go to societies and request people all the time. Thank you.